Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you like it, please hit like and subscribe. If you want keep up to date with my when I am live on my broadcast, please follow me on my PSN username or go to YouTube and subscribe. I hope you like this game I just downloaded last today. Enjoy.
You find her, Gonzalez?
Not me. Family out for a stroll. I was first reported.
Can you show me the body?
It's under the pepper tree, this way.
You're a couple of slates short of a full one.
Can't be much help to you, Phelps.
The stomping angle in the Henry case, was it reported in the press?
Sure was. Every detail a copycat would want was there in the story.
Okay, that done. Okay.
Well, we have a name. Can you run Deirdre Muller by R&I?
Back in a second.
Seems irrelevant.
Victim of white female Jane Doe.
Okay, now a body.
Ligature mark is very
Distinctive. I'll do some comparisons back at the lab and get back to you.
Looks like she was tied up.
It does at first, but that would leave a mark on her other wrist, too. I think her watch might have been torn off.
What's this mark? Cut on the finger.
Fourth finger, left hand. A wedding or engagement ring. Violently removed. Similar remote.
For what? The Dahlia? I don't think so.
Celine Henry.
That's a closed case. This is probably another sad sack who lost his temper with a broad who wouldn't put out.
Are you a suspect, Rusty?
Watch your mouth, Phelps. All I'm saying is we've got enough to do without reopening closed cases.
Talk me through it, Mal.
Severely battered, on display. Footprints would indicate that she has been stomped. Size of the footprints would seem to indicate a smallish men's shoe. What size shoe did Mendez wear?
You finished?
No, I'm not. At a glance, I would say strangulation was the cause of death. I'll need to do further tests for semen.
Angry boyfriend. If they were married, they'd be at home. Not humping out here in Lover's Lane.
Don't go.
Detective, R&I says that Deirdre Muller of 130 North Bonnie Bray was reported missing this morning by her husband, Hugo.
Okay.
Did I tell you? Grab the husband, take him downtown, and work him over. Could have this wrapped up by lunchtime.
What about not making assumptions and going on the evidence?
Okay. Come on.
Still might be some play in the boyfriend angle.
I thought we were on our way to lock up the husband.
If it doesn't work out, that is.
Deirdre Muller has suffered enough. More than enough. You shouldn't make disparaging comments about her without even the slightest inkling of what she was like.
She was a woman, wasn't she? Well, around about my third divorce, I realized women might not be the pure angels we imagine. You're married, ain't you, Phelps?
Don't make any insinuations about my wife.
Hey, she's a woman.
She's the mother of my children.
You're a father, Cole? But don't tell me your eye don't bend.
This conversation is over.
KGPL 20 Central Unit. The citizen reports a man with a gun on Grand between 4th and 5th. Any Central Unit identified. Citizen reports a man with a gun on Grand between 4th and 5th. Any Central Unit identified.
This is car 11K. Go ahead.
Please, you've got to call for help. He doesn't look real good.
Quick, what happened?
Some punk held up my stand. This guy tried to help and got a bullet for his trouble. He got hit and hightailed it through the parking lot. Get going.
We need switches.
You come any closer, I'll pull the trigger.
Put the weapon down!
What the hell?
Oh, hold up here, Phelps.
I'll get that done.
All units be advised, the suspect is down on Grand between 4th and 5th Streets. Repeat, the suspect is down. Code 4.
Jesus, Phelps, you're terrorizing these poor slubs.
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. Is your father home?
He'll be home soon. He's been out looking for Mommy.
What's your name, miss?
Michelle Eloise Mahler?
Can we come in?
I suppose so.
Thank you. Could you have a seat for me, Michelle? We're going to have a look around.
He'll be back any moment. Just sit tight. My partner will explain everything when he gets back, okay? There's nothing to worry about.
I doubt it.
Yeah, with the balance room. Ooh, yeah.
Work boots. Size 8s. Elgin wristwatch. Probably the same one snatched from her body. No sign of a wedding ring.
Oh, look at our back.
Is this about Mommy? Daddy is trying to find her. Please tell me she's okay.
I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Michelle, but your mother is dead. Do you think you could answer a few questions for us?
Try.
When did you last see your mother?
Yesterday afternoon, I went to a dance at Belmont High. Mommy was supposed to pick me up, but she didn't show.
So what did you do then?
I was upset. Daddy came instead.
And did he come and get you?
Of course. Some boys offered me a ride home, but that's not the right thing to do.
So you were hanging around the school for quite a while. What happened with your father?
I don't know. I called and finally he answered. He came straight away then.
Some of your mother's jewelry was missing. Can you describe her things?
A ring, a watch. I never paid much attention to that stuff.
I know it's painful, Michelle, but this may be important. She wore a wedding ring?
Mommy chose it herself. A rose gold wedding band and a matching diamond and ruby engagement ring.
She wore a watch?
Yes, a yellow gold Elgin watch. Daddy bought it for her birthday. We had a fight. It was kind of a makeup present.
Your mom and dad are happily married?
What are you saying? Of course they are.
Your mom and dad never got angry with each other? They were happy?
Well, not like the movies. Not like you read about in books.
They weren't happy, were they, Michelle? Did your father ever hit your mother?
Just the once. She said she would leave him if he ever did it again. He bought her a brooch pin to make up for it. And he always wore her golden butterfly.
I know this is a tough time for you, Michelle, but you should really try and help the police.
Hey! What gives?
Daddy,
Okay,
the police
I
are
will
here.
be on the mic again
Daddy, Mommy
when
is
Go to your room,
gone.
young lady. She's not even out of school. You
Presents.
can't come in here interrogating her like she's
Your
some
wife
kind
was
of...
found murdered this morning.
Found? What? But she only...
We have some questions that we would like to ask you.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I'll do my best.
What size shoe do you wear, Mr. Mueller?
Why do you ask?
It's routine, sir. Simple process of elimination.
9s, I think.
You know anyone who wears a smallish men's shoe who had a major grudge against your wife? Is there something you would like to tell us, Hugo?
No, I do not. You finished making hints?
So you were here all night. You stayed in while your wife went out to pick up your daughter?
Yes, that's correct.
You got any way of confirming this story of yours?
You son of a bitch. You come here making all these accusations.
You phoned in a missing persons report this morning?
Yeah, that's right. My wife didn't come home last night. She left around 9:30. Michelle was out at dance. She called me to let me know that Deidre didn't turn up.
And you didn't report that she was missing till this morning? That's very unusual, Mr. Mueller, not to mention suspicious.
Look, I was annoyed with her. That's why I was waiting for her to come home. Why, you telling me something different? You better think about leaving, or you're going to have some trouble on your hands.
Your wife went to pick up Michelle?
Yes, that's right.
What happened, Hugo? You got any theories? Because we're starting to like you for this.
The car park by the school is kind of dark. Maybe somebody jumped her there. Did you try the parking lot?
Your wife was beaten and then strangled. In your case, you have no alibi and a history of violence towards your wife.
That's not true, God damn it.
It is true, Hugo. You're a violent man. You try to keep a lid on it at home, but sometimes you lost control. Your daughter and your wife were scared of you.
You don't know anything about me.
I know about the golden butterfly, Hugo, and how you bought your wife off the last time you heard her.
She liked to spend money, all right? Dresses, jewelry, her hair. It drove me goddamn crazy. Do I look like a Rockefeller?
Nobody likes a cheapskate, Hugo.
Getting hostile with us is a very bad idea, Hugo.
I'm no murderer.
Make some arrangements for your daughter, and then present yourself to Central Station for questioning.
You gotta be kidding me, Phelps. Put the cuffs on him.
This is an outrage. I didn't kill my wife.
Your daughter is in the next room, Muller, so I'm giving you a break. Don't make me change my mind, and don't make me come looking for you.
We should go back in there and bust his ass.
1, we need to break his alibi, check phone records, canvass the neighbors. 2, we have motive of domestic violence, which probably goes for half the men in L.A. 3, we have no evidence tying him to the crime scene.
Hello, detective.
Yes, ma'am.
I heard the terrible news over the radio.
And you can help us with our inquiries?
Yes, sir. They had a row last night. I heard Mrs. Muller screaming.
Did you see Mrs. Muller come home late last night at all?
No, not at all. I did see Mr. Muller put something in the incinerator earlier this morning, though.
I told you he was our guy. Now let's get this bum downtown and into a cell.
Look, there he is now.
Step away from the incinerator. Don't let him get away.
Okay, but no shooting. We need this guy to make the case.
Be careful. He looks dangerous.
Enough running, Hugo! Hands where we can see them. This doesn't look good, Hugo.
I can...
Get him booked in at Central, officer. Then put him in an interview room. We'll be speaking with him later. And inform the captain.
Yes, sir, detective.
Is there someone you can call, miss?
I don't want home and
You need somewhere to stay, Michelle. You have other family? Grandparents? Aunts or uncle?
call Aunt Helen, but she lives in Bakersfield and
Call her. We're gonna get someone down here from Juvenile Hall to talk to you in the meantime.
We ought to get some uniforms down here, clean up, take care of the kid. Galloway, Homicide Division, badge number 564.
Go ahead, Detective Unit.
Can we get Ray Pinker and a technical services team to a house at 130 North Bonnie Bray Street? And send someone down from Juvenile Hall to look after a young lady.
Roger, 11K. Inform Detective Phelps that the coroner has a report waiting at the police morgue downtown when he's available.
Got it, KGPL. Up ahead, you make a right.
Phelps, 1247.
This guy must have escaped from the...
I need an address on a Belmont high school.
Checking for you, Detective. Belmont High, 1575 West 2nd Street.
Thanks.
She wants a five-star. I'm surprised, you know. I didn't make the husband for it.
Always make the husband, Phelps. 9 times out of 10, it's the closest person to the Vic who does the deed. God knows I've wanted to kill some wives in my day.
Lex parsimoniae.
What?
The law of parsimony. Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is most likely the correct one.
You know, you could have said that without getting all liturgical on me.
I'll try to dumb things down from now on.
Appreciate it. And try this one on for size. Rusty's razor.
How's that go?
You blame the guy that's banging her.
Ah, of course. The famous Lex...
Saturday's the spring unveiling, Emmy. It's the first season since fabric rationing's over. We have to go. I
told you I can't Saturday.
I'm busy. Busy where? You're going on another drive with Davy Gardner, aren't you?
So what if I am?
Go, Phelps. I'll take the car and see if I can cut him off. There he is. See him? Wish I could afford that. Be careful. He looks dangerous. That's far enough, freak. You move a muscle and you're a dead man.
Car 11K, car 11K, come in. Car 11K, car 11K, come in.
11K, go ahead.
11K, see the janitor. A green 1946 coupe registered to a Mrs. Hugo Moeller has been found in the parking lot adjoining the Belmont High School and playing fields. 11K, code 2.
What's your name?
Who's asking?
We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Name's Eli Rooney.
You've been in trouble with the law before, Eli?
Some.
What are you doing around here?
I like to keep an eye on the children.
Strictly paternal, is it, Eli?
Don't sass me, boy.
A woman was abducted here last night, Eli, and murdered.
And I would love to make you for that, you oaky motherfucker.
Well, I wouldn't know nothing about that. A woman, you say? I like 'em a little younger than that.
Turn out your pockets, Eli.
Now, why would I do that?
Because I'm about to break your fucking skull, Eli.
You're under arrest, Eli. You're in very deep trouble. Get some backup down here, Rusty. We need to get this one downtown and into a cell.
I'll tell them we got a kitty raper coming in. They can roll out the red carpet.
What time did you see the person park the car?
Late last night, after school social, maybe 1 a.m. I've been keeping a good eye out lately. We've had problems with the child molester.
Eli Rooney. We've met him.
Filthy son of a bitch. He was here yesterday before the dance.
Was it him you saw park the car?
I don't know, sir. I'd like to say yes, but the truth is it was pretty dark.
Would you say Rooney is violent?
Yes, sir. I would say so, yes.
Thanks for your help. Blood and skin samples. We better get Ray Pinker out here. The overalls are stenciled HM. Muller is a mechanic. I wonder what Eli does for a living.
It's from a Chrysler. Could be important.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need interrogation set up at Central for both suspects being held in the Muller homicide case.
Certainly, Detective. I'll get in touch with the watch commander.
Thanks, ma'am.
I say we make Rooney for this. I think we should lay it on him. He was near the car, he had her jewelry, the DA will love him for it.
Even if he didn't do it?
Who cares whether he did it? You have kids, Phelps? He needs to be taken permanently out of harm's way.
And we let Muller slide?
For a while. He gets a free pass for now.
I don't know about this. My gut says Muller. We caught him trying to destroy evidence in his backyard, and that was his car with the bloody tools in it.
I never said it wasn't Muller. Hell, he probably killed his wife, deprived that poor kid of a mother. But he's not an immediate danger to anyone else. Rooney's a threat to every kid at Belmont.
He's a peeper, Rusty. We can pick him up for something else.
You really want to run that risk? Better not go soft on me in here, Phelps.
We'll work the evidence, Rusty. Let him do the rest.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to stop him with one round.
Here's where we stand, Hugo. Your next-door neighbor heard screaming coming from your house. You were burning your blood-stained shoes. You have no one who can confirm your whereabouts last night. Your daughter says you're a violent man. We have everything we need to send you to death row, and all you have to say for yourself is, I didn't do it.
I swear I didn't kill her. Give me that lie test. I can prove it.
Why did you burn your shoes, Hugo?
Because I knew you'd never believe me.
Are you going to tell me what I want to know, or do we have to take it out of you in lumps?
Give it your best shot. I can take whatever you're throwing.
Do you know anything about ropes, Hugo?
As much as the next man. I was a scout, I learned some more in the Army.
You learned to strangle with the rope in the Army?
With rope, with my bare hands, but mainly with wire. I learned a lot of things in the Army, but I still didn't kill my wife.
For argument's sake, what type of rope would you use?
If I had to, I would use a triple braid. Less flex, easier to control.
We found your wife's car. Someone parked it at the school late last night. Do you have anything to say about that?
It wasn't me.
Where do you keep your work clothes?
I keep them at work in my locker.
Enough lies, Hugo. Your overalls put you at the scene of the crime last night.
My overalls are in the laundry of my house.
Green overalls, blood-stained, with the initials HM found in the trunk of your wife's car.
They can't be mine.
Why, Hugo? Because if they were yours, they'd be in the incinerator too?
Your wife was beaten with a tire iron, Hugo. An appropriate choice of tool for a mechanic.
I know nothing about any tire iron.
You're lying, Hugo. You're gonna have to come clean on this.
You got no proof.
Your wife drove a Chevrolet, Hugo. What make of car do you drive?
A Chrysler Airflow.
So I guess that explains why the tire iron that killed your wife came from a Chrysler. Hugo Muller, I'm charging you with the murder of your wife. You'll be arraigned and taken before a grand jury. Book him, Rusty.
With pleasure.
I have to say I'm disappointed. I stood in front of a troop of reporters and made promises. Promises of swift and fearful retribution, and you bring me an armful of vagary and happenstance. You made the department look bad, lad. Do it again and your career as a policeman will come to an abrupt and ignominious end. You two are back on the streets. Find street criminals, roust them, beat them, and restore some fervor to your police work. Your next case will come when you've revived my faith in your abilities. Now get out of here!
Two regular army.
Lieutenant!
Belt, we've been over this. That sniper barely missed you back on the beach. Until the mission is over, there'll be no more saluting or signs of rank.
I'm in charge here, Medier!
Do you wish to interrogate the prisoners?
No, they're beat. Why they look so sullen? You're wondering why we haven't killed them yet. There is no greater shame than being taken prisoner.
Get this, Golden Boy actually seems to know what he's doing.
あなた方の会社と名前を名乗ってください。
第44大部隊所属兵だ。
See
that, boys? He slapped that Jap right upside the head.
It was merely to remind him of his place. His shame was the tone of voice that he used with a superior. I respect the Japanese, Corporal.
Respect, we're here to kill the sons of bitches.
Do you know why we are fighting the Japanese, Private?
With respect, sir, these bastards attacked Pearl Harbor.
And why did they attack Pearl, Private?
Because they hate the US of A and our way of life.
They attacked the U.S. because we cut off their oil. What would we do if another country denied us the gas to run our cars?
Ah, Phelps. I was just discussing with Finbar here how well you were doing. Have a seat.
Yeah, it's my real name. And you can just forget all about it.
You boys have a new case. A poor Hispanic woman murdered near City Hall and left lying naked in an alleyway.
Another naked woman, sir?
Yes. We seem to have had quite a run of them since the Dahlia fiend first struck.
Phelps is politely trying to hint that he thinks the Mendez case is hokey.
Well, young Phelps, you win some and you lose some in police work.
You're happy with the Mueller case, sir?
Over the moon, boys! The DA couldn't be more pleased with the evidence, the witness, and the lack of an alibi. Now, get out there and catch me another sinner.
You have the address?
It's the alley off Aliso between Los Angeles and Alameda.
You're kidding. The next one will be opposite Central Station.
Count yourself lucky, Phelps. Most guys would kill to land a case so close to their desk.
Yeah. It means they can pop in to hit the office supply of hooch whenever they need it.
You know, that ain't a bad idea. That is not a bad idea at all, Phelps.
Continue to respond, sir.
Detectives, they're ready to start the show. I'll take you through.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Brothers, Pinker?
Cause of death is pretty apparent. We thought we'd best wait for you. When you're ready.
The lacerations on the neck would indicate a great deal of force.
Only 21 years old. But why the library card? Did he want us to find it?
Another wedding ring torn from the finger. No skin under the fingernails. Kiss the blood, BD. The evidence in the Mueller case was solid. I'm not convinced about Mendez.
The best way to get away with murder is to pin it on somebody else. I'll bet a month's salary this is a copycat.
Strangled, battered,
Yeah, we know the M.O. So does every jerk who kills his wife and girlfriend looking for a way out. I've spoken to Brown. He still believes the Dahlia perp has medical experience.
4 women, all murdered, all put on display, all with messages.
Mueller had no message. Look, Phelps, this is getting us nowhere.
Anything for us to go on, Mal?
Head injuries from contact with road, bruising from a small man's shoe, further blunt force trauma to the occipital region at the base of the skull. Could have been fatal, but clear signs of strangulation would seem to rule it out.
Lipstick appears to be a similar color to the other cases. I'll see if I can nail down a brand.
If she took a blow to the head like the others, she was probably unconscious when strangled.
Find anything interesting?
May as well follow the trail. Antonia. Huh. Same as the library card.
Proximity to the scene, plus the bloodstains. No way is this coincidence. On it goes.
We kept the area pristine for you boys. Let's check it out.
House keys strung up like bait on a hook. You think he's trying to lead us somewhere?
Probably all the way to City Hall, that brazen son of a bitch.
That's got to be a code or a cipher. Where are you taking us? Empty. Where is all of this meant to be taking us? He clearly wants us to find these things. He's left them for us.
There you go, Phelps. You got a new M.O. I told you it wasn't our guy.
Or he might just be getting more confident. Enameled and gold-plated. This was precious to her.
The trail points up.
Pulled from the finger and hung up here. What's the significance? Looks as though the killer was decorating with this. Son of a bitch wants her identified. Mrs. Antonia Maldonado, 712 North Hill Street, downtown.
It was Mrs. Maldonado, right?
That's affirmative.
All right, so then there's a husband we should be looking for. Get him, we've closed the case.
Rusty's razor, of course. I don't want to question your tried and tested techniques, Detective Galloway, but doesn't the DA require sound casework before he'll close the book?
Not if he's got a confession. And, you know, there's ways of getting those.
I'm sure.
Just a moment. I'm sorry. Can I help you?
LAPD, ma'am. Detective Phelps and Galloway. Does Mrs. Maldonado live here?
Yes, she does. I'm Mrs. Barbara LaPente, the owner of this boarding house. Is there a problem?
I'm afraid so, ma'am. Do you mind if we come in? Is there somewhere we can discuss this?
Of course. Follow me through to the parlor. Wipe your feet as you come in, detectives. It's this way.
Mrs. Maldonado was found dead this morning.
Dead? Oh, no. She can't be.
I'm afraid she was murdered, ma'am. We need to take a look at her things.
I can't believe it. A person seems so alive, and then they're gone. Antonia's room is upstairs, last door on the left.
Thank you. We'll be back shortly.
Excuse us a moment, ma'am. Will you look at that? Someone's turned the place over.
The charm bracelet wasn't among the crime scene evidence. Okay, we have an address. The smashed window explains why the place looks tossed.
You know how I feel about windows, Phelps.
We have some questions, ma'am, if you're up to it.
Yes, Detective. I'll do my best.
Do you have any idea who might have wanted to hurt Mrs. Maldonado?
That rat of her husband, Angel. She was serving him divorce papers.
If I killed every wife to serve me papers, I'd be a mass murderer.
Are you being flippant, young man?
No, ma'am.
What can you tell us about Angel Maldonado?
She married him when she was 17. He was cruel to her, very cruel. She was a good girl, little on the religious side, but a good girl.
What time did Antonia go out yesterday?
She left around 9.
Do you know where she went?
No, I have no idea. She was a good girl, but she didn't confide in me.
Come on, Mrs. Lepenti, you must have some idea.
Maybe a movie? Maybe church. She was a very religious girl.
You've had a break-in?
No, that can't be true.
The window's broken, the room's been tossed. You seem like the type of landlady who notices everything that happens under her roof. What gives?
Don't take that tone of voice with me, young man.
Antonia and her husband were estranged?
Yes. She moved here after she separated from her husband 2 months ago.
But Antonia still wore a wedding ring?
She wore the wedding ring and a necklace. She always wore a religious necklace. That's about all of her jewelry.
Can you describe the necklace?
An icon of Our Lady of Guadalupe. It's quite beautiful. I let Antonia hang a painting of her there on the wall.
We're hunting a killer, madam. I would have expected a little more cooperation.
I've said it right from the start. We should come down hard on the husband. Let's check his place out.
Think there's anything to the divorce angle?
I've been through 3, Phelps. No big deal. After a while, you just numb yourself to the experience.
But Angel, he's a young Latino man. It would hurt his sense of who he is. He'd see himself as a failure, a woman taking control over his life.
Then she fronts him and he snaps. Works for me. That makes Angel a killer as well as a piece of shit.
Maldonado is in apartment 304.
Phelps, this could turn ugly. Forget about knocking. Let's take our boy by surprise.
Hey, what the fuck?
LAPD, motherfucker, you're under arrest. I got a... What?
Now look, I don't want no trouble, see? I got nothing to say to you.
What do you think, Joe Louis? What do you think, Joe Louis?
Do it, Cole. I got him. Damn. They got some decent shots in there. Cuff these sons of bitches, Phelps.
LAPD, you two are under arrest. Call for some backup, Finbar.
Galloway, badge number 564. I need a prowl car at the apartment building 330 North Hill Street. 2 suspects need transporting to Central.
Your wife has been murdered, Angel.
Antonia? Oh, God, no.
Where were you last night, Angel?
I was here with my brother the whole night, goddammit! You think I'd kill my own wife? We should get the whole place going over, then talk to the neighbors. And Phelps, I don't care that you just got smacked in the head. You don't call me Finbar.
This will take some explaining. The El Dorado. Just picked fruit market. I wonder if Angel gets all his groceries from this place.
Maybe one of the neighbors took notice of Angel's movements. He's got no alibi. He's toast.
What do you want?
LAPD. We're making some inquiries.
Make it quick. I work nights.
So you weren't home last night?
No, I was at work.
You know nothing about Mrs. Maldonado fighting with her husband?
Those two? They're always screaming the place down.
Thanks.
No good. There's nobody here.
Sorry about that. I'm playing with my kids.
LAPD. Were you here last night?
Yeah. My wife and I are separated, and I had the kids last night. I put them to bed early and went to bed myself.
Thanks.
Hello?
LAPD, ma'am. Did you hear a disturbance last night?
Yes. Yes, I did. Mrs. Maldonado lit out of here, and her husband ran out after her.
You saw this, Miss?
Aranda. I had the door open a crack.
Did you see Mr. Maldonado come back inside after he ran out?
No. I didn't.
Thanks. We'll be in touch.
The hired help at the El Dorado might have seen the broad the night she died. Maybe the regulars, too. You should check it out. KGPL, 11 King, over.
11K, Captain Donnelly and Detective Sergeant Finis Brown urgently request your presence at Central. A new letter has been found.
11K, en route.
You don't think it's strange that all these murders are happening to girls who've been out drinking?
No. A broad drinks, she gets a bit tight, she starts mouthing off. This leads to that, and she ends up in an alleyway. It's a sad story, but this town's seen it play out 1,000 times, Cole.
Why don't you want to see a connection here?
Because there are perfectly good real-life suspects for every one of these murders. We don't need to go looking for the monster under the bed.
Another letter? I thought the letter was from a nut.
These letters, Brown and Hanson believe they are genuine. From him.
Now we sent another.
You know, I really hate this fuck. This Black Dahlia guy. Have you seen the body?
The captain is waiting for you downstairs with Pinker.
I'm telling you, it'll never stick, and you'll get roasted.
Boys, come on in. Phelps, have you met Finis Brown?
Pleased to meet you, sir.
This information is confidential and doesn't leave this room.
The new letter was left in the back seat of a cab. The driver thinks it was put through the window and not left by a customer.
We're checking all the spares back 24 hours regardless.
Good.
Like the previous letters, it's been assembled from headlines and typed from the Times and Examiner, then glued to an envelope.
What is the other note?
This one? That's also new. A poem, hand-typed.
Do you mind if I take a look?
Go ahead. We've been over both documents pretty carefully. They've been wiped with gasoline, so there's no chance of prints.
That's the message from the Celine Henry case. Heap upon thy soul by virtue of this curse.
That's why we called you in.
Do you think it's original?
Not unless he's a genius.
You like this nutjob's poem?
No, I like Shelley. It was written at least 100 years ago.
Shelley? Sure, I knew that.
You see, Finis? I told you this lad was a bright boy.
Sure, but what has it got to do with the case?
Prometheus Unbound. Prometheus was a titan, a superhuman character who defied the gods to bring fire to humanity.
The Dahlia guy believes he's Superman.
Your guess is as good as mine. One thing for sure is that he's educated. What about the link to the Henry case?
He could have got the wording from the papers. As you said, he is fiendishly clever and takes pleasure in taunting us. What's happening with the Maldonado case?
We have the husband in custody. We haven't interviewed him yet.
Well, upstairs then, lads, and see if we can break him.
I'm just praying the prince comes to you so I can nail the son of a bitch.
Escaped from the loony bin.
Improved your attitude, Angel?
What do you want me to say? I was with Antonia the night she died. but she left the apartment, and that was the last time I saw her.
So your wife paid you a visit last night. What time was that?
Late, around midnight, maybe. She didn't stay long.
So if you didn't kill your wife, who did? You better come up with something, Angel. This doesn't look good.
Fuck you. I loved my wife.
You're good, kid. You murder your wife and you just sit there as cool as a cucumber.
When we found your wife, her jewelry had been removed. Was she wearing her religious medallion last night?
Sure. She always wore that.
Looks like somebody broke into her room and stole her things there, too. Why'd you do it, Angel?
What the hell are you talking about? I was home with Hippolito.
You and your wife weren't getting along. She was divorcing you. Is that why you killed her?
We fought, yeah, but we weren't getting a divorce.
I don't believe you, Angel. She'd been granted a decree nisi. She pushed you too far, and you lashed out.
I told you. I wouldn't accept a divorce. She was my wife. Things got bad sometimes, but nothing would have made me want her dead. Nothing in the world.
Your wife has been brutally murdered. So how do you explain your shirt being covered in blood?
You found that? I cut myself shaving.
You're lying through your teeth. You killed her and your brother's in on it.
You don't know what you're saying. Why would I do that? Hippolito's my brother, but he would never lie for me about killing Antonia. He knows he'd go to hell for that.
Keep it to yourself, kid. Let it eat away at you like poison. You're going back into a cell. We'll be waiting when you're ready to spill your guts.
Are you taking my wife's murder seriously?
I'm telling you, it'll never stick and you'll get roasted.
Jesus H. Christ!
You can drive.
What can I get you?
LAPD. Detectives Phelps and Galloway.
Diego Aguilar. How can I help?
You worked the bar last night?
Yeah. Me and a temp guy from the agency.
Did you have a woman in here last night? 21 years old, Hispanic, drinking heavily?
We have a lot of ladies like that in here. But yeah, I know who you mean. Antonia Maldonado. What did she do?
She was murdered last night.
Oh, shit.
Do you know her well? Was she a regular?
Hell no. She was good and tight last night, complaining about her old man. It's a story you get used to working in a bar. She was so hammered last night, she left a letter on the bar. I'll show you.
Say, honey, what time do you get off waiting tables?
Divorce papers. Did you open them?
No need to. She was shouting about it and waving the letter around. Said she was going to show him.
Can you remember what jewelry she was wearing?
She had a necklace. Some kind of religious thing, I think. The temp guy would have more of an idea. She took the beer he served her and cried into it all night.
What time did she leave?
Can't say for sure.
Did she leave with anyone?
No. She wanted a cab, but my payphone ain't working, so I couldn't call her one.
Did Antonia say where she was going when she left?
She said she was going to serve the papers on the husband. Said that would take the smile off his face. If you ask me, she was scared. And the drink was for Dutch courage.
She attract any interest?
An extremely drunk young woman? What do you think? She managed to scare them off, though.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
No problem. Hey, get the guy, will you?
We'll do our best. One last question. What size shoe do you take, Mr. Aguilar?
A broad 9. I have wide feet.
He thinks he's a bit of a gangster, but he treats me nice.
Can you drive to this one? The handbag was left just up there, overlooking the market.
Could have come here from the start and saved ourselves a day's legwork.
LAPD, Detective Phelps and Galloway.
Clem Feeney, what can I do for you?
Did you happen to see a young woman last night? 21 years old, Hispanic?
Sure, she came by last night. Why do you ask?
She was wearing a necklace?
I didn't notice.
You weren't paying attention, Feeney?
Hey, you're getting the wrong idea.
Exactly how much fruit do you sell here after midnight, Clem?
Look, not much. I sell the odd bottle on the side to the after-hours crowd. Look, I don't want any trouble. I'm just trying to make a buck.
The young lady arrived around midnight?
Yeah, something like that. Used the phone for a cab and then left.
She looked like she was having a good night to you?
Hard to tell. Might have just been the booze that was making her seem maudlin.
Where did she go from here?
She wanted a cab, but I couldn't get her one. I was about to offer to drive her, but a car pulled up and she got into that.
Can you describe the car?
Brown Ford Coupe, I think. She seemed to know the guy.
Do you mind if we look around?
Why would you want to do that?
Because we say so.
I guess you can. Don't you have to get a court order or something? I have rights.
Clem? Shh.
Just don't know how to dance to bebop.
No wonder he stays open late at night. People have to get their vitamins. Check through this stuff before we get back out there.
So what are we hiding in here? This thing needs a combination.
Are you working Friday night? Go out afterwards.
Why cut someone who was already dead?
It's a typical power thing. Once the stiff is dead, the creep usually feels they can do whatever they like. You must have seen it during the war. This fruit stall punk gets about 10 seconds to explain before I pull his fucking arms off. Clem! God damn it, get after him, Cole. I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck.
We should have grabbed him when we had the chance, Phelps.
When we had the chance, we didn't know he was our guy.
Don't go to sleep on me. Get me back in close.
Strange that he'd leave a trail of blood right back to his own market.
Maybe he wanted to be caught. A lot of them do.
It's almost too perfect, isn't it?
There's no such thing as too perfect.
Hit him, Cole. Spin him out. Keep it steady and I'll try to bust his tires.
You're a sick man, Clem. You need help.
Now, lads, what am I to do with you? I give you a perfectly good murder. A case any homicide man would be happy with. An affront to our way of life and our Californian dream, and a chance to deliver some retribution. Are you not believers, lads? Homicide men are the right hand of God. You need to back out of here slowly and take a long, hard look at yourselves and your methods. Ask yourself what you are prepared to do to put these creatures behind bars. It's the streets for the two of you until I can find some forgiveness for the foppish behavior you've been exhibiting.
Sarge, why are the guys giving it to the doggies? They're riding in trucks, numbskull, while you're marching.
They look pretty badly beat up.
Yeah, they do it then. Scuttlebutt says it's pretty hard going down south.
We'll find out soon enough. Recon always leads.
How can we fail, Skip, with the Shadow leading the show?
Who the fuck is a Shadow?
Lieutenant Phelps, the Shadow of Death.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He's a quiet fucker, Sarge. Never hear the bastard coming.
Sitting there, field stripping a cigarette, and suddenly he's there looking down on you.
Why do you think we keep saluting that Jap-loving son of a bitch? He's bad juju.
That's enough out of you three. Bad juju? Where were you dragged up? A swamp?
Good morning, gentlemen, and what a grand morning it is, too. We have just cause for celebration. Galloway and Phelps are sending another fiend to San Quentin. A nice showy trial, and he'll be strapped down with gas seeping into his tiny reptile brain. Now, to fresh business. Galloway and Phelps, the task is at hand. The address is on the hill, north downtown off Fremont Avenue.
Hey, I gave his wife a Skipper, is the new letter genuine?
Now, boys, we all know how many imbeciles have confessed in the short case. Ray Pinker will let us know in good time.
A fine morning indeed. We keep locking them up, but the bodies keep piling up.
Yeah, Californians love a fat, Phelps. As long as the bricks hold up at San Quentin, there'll always be killers in this town to send.
105 North Avenue.
Greetings from sunny California. How's it going to stop?
First the letter, and now another body. Come on, you can't keep on telling me there's not a killer still out there.
You know, Phelps, all these arrests on your record are giving you a reputation. You don't want them turning into unsolved.
Getting a vicious killer off the streets is more important than my reputation.
Really?
And besides, landing a big fat marlin is more impressive than an ocean full of minnows.
The minnows maketh the man, Phelps. You can't always hit home runs. Sometimes you just gotta make first base.
11K, go ahead.
11K, Roger. Citizen reports at 415 at Alvera Street Plaza. 11K, it's code.
You're crazy.
If I'm crazy, it's your fault. Running around behind my back. How am I supposed to trust you, goddammit?
Whoa, sir. I think you ought to calm down.
Mind your own goddamn business. Why is everybody always on my case?
Officer, watch it!
Don't hurt me!
Give it up, old man!
Get the bastard.
Any Central unit, a possible 415 at Alvera Street Plaza. Unit to handle code 3.
You're crazy.
If I'm crazy, it's your fault. Running around behind my back. How am I supposed to trust you, goddammit?
Whoa, sir. I think you ought to calm down.
Mind your own goddamn business. Why is everybody always on my case?
Officer, watch it!
Don't hurt me!
Give it up, old man!
Get the bastard.
Roger on your ambulance, 11K. All units be advised, code 4 at the Alvera Street Plaza.
Hey! That guy there will lead us up.
I'm steeling myself for what I'm about to see.
That'll just be another dead body, partner. We're used to seeing them. You're the gig when you're working homicide, fellas.
Detectives?
Phelps and Galloway, homicide.
Scene is secure. The rest of the patrolmen are going door to door, canvassing for witnesses.
Thanks. Keep me informed.
Will do, Detective.
This looks awfully familiar.
I think that's the impression the boys from the Examiner took with them as well.
There's nothing original under the sun. Why should murder be any different?
What do we have so far?
Not much trace evidence to speak of. Storm blew in around 10 last night, and the rain washed most of it away.
And the body?
Looks like she was tipped out of an automobile from the tire tracks and superficial injuries. Strangled with a length of rope. And for my money, it's triple braid again.
Time of death?
From her temperature, maybe 2 a.m., but it was cold last night.
Usual head injuries.
Blunt force trauma. Knock him over the head, then strangle and mutilate. No message with this one.
At least she was left clothed.
I doubt very much he was concerned with her dignity.
The green silk dress is very distinctive. Any sign of her other shoe?
No. And no handbag or other personal effects.
No drag marks. The killer was moving around, surveying the scene. Our driver and our killer are most likely one and the same.
This doesn't pertain to the case. Optimistic, Cole. Incidental.
Detectives, I've been working the houses across the street and up the block. This lady thinks she has something for us.
Detective Phelps, LAPD.
I'm Mrs. Barton, Catherine Barton. I live just across the way.
Did you see anyone around here last night?
Not last night, but yesterday, early evening, I saw that awful hobo.
Do you have a description?
Tall, gaunt, horribly disfigured. I think he may have had an accident in the war. He's a very scary, angry man.
Any idea where we might find him?
One of the hobo camps around here. He's some kind of hobo leader. They all follow him around.
Thank you, ma'am. You've been a big help.
Of course. Anything I can do to help. I'd hate to think that something so ghastly could happen right here and nothing be done about it.
Damn captain's making
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Missing persons reports for white females over the last 48 hours.
One moment. We have 3 white females listed as missing, Detective. Myrtle Douglas, 294 Whitmer Street. One Beatrix Rogers of 1152 West 4th Street. And a Mrs. Teresa Terrellson, 43 Emerald Street.
Can you track down reports of hobo camps in the vicinity of Signal Hill?
Just a moment, Detective. There's a large camp under the bridge on Grand between Temple and Sunset.
Thanks for your help.
Jesus, missing persons reports.
We're gonna be at this all night.
I think we ought to investigate the hobo lead.
Well, if you think we ought to, then I guess we ought.
We're looking for a tall man with a disfigured face. Do you know him?
Huh? What? I fought in 2 wars, you know, son. I think I earned some peace and quiet.
Ah, the bum isn't here.
Look at these people.
We should follow the
Leave me
lead.
alone.
These guys
No,
can
no,
wait.
no.
At least the rain stopped. You can change back into those white bucks now.
Calling you stupid would be an insult to stupid people.
You know the way. You can drive.
This is a shot in the dark. How do we know someone even filled in a missing persons report for this dame?
We don't, but it's the only thing we've got to go on.
You sure? You sure you searched the scene, Cole?
I had a good look.
No, I mean really searched it.
You were there too.
Oh, Jesus, come on. I thought you were the goody two-shoes little prick who went over crime scenes with a fine-tooth comb. Thought I could relax in my old age here, Cole.
The rain must have washed away the clues that would have led us to her identity.
I knew this weather was gonna ruin my night.
How can I help you, Sonny?
LAPD, sir. We've had a report of a missing woman.
Harry Douglas. I made the report. It's my wife, Myrtle.
How long has she been missing, sir?
Phelps, this isn't gonna help our cause.
Go ahead, sir.
What year is this, son?
1947, sir.
I would say for the best part of 12 years now.
I'm very sorry to hear that, sir. I hope she comes back.
I do too. I miss her.
Let's get out of here.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
See what I mean? We'll be at this all night.
There are only 2 more missing person leads on our list.
And they'll probably be as useless as the last guy.
But they're just as likely to be reports for that woman in the green dress.
No amount of wishful think is going to make me happy to be stuck in this car with you, Phelps.
Learn to love it, Galloway. I'm not going anywhere.
LAPD, sir. We've had a report of a missing woman.
It's my wife. She's been missing for 2 weeks.
How old is your wife?
16, nearly 17.
And how old are you?
19.
And you had been fighting?
Oh, a little, I guess. She says she wants to go out and have some fun. And me, I'm working double shifts down at the Saval tool plant.
Try the bars along Sunset. We're out of here.
You know the way. You can drive.
Another waste of time.
Eliminating false leads is an important aspect of police work. I'm surprised I need to tell you that.
You want to know what we did when it rained in the old days, Phelps?
What?
We operated on the principle that all clues would be washed away. We grabbed someone close, we put the screws on until they pointed us in the right direction. That's simple.
Why do I get the impression that you're just making this up?
Hello? Yes?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. Is your wife home, sir?
My wife went out last night and she hasn't come home.
Can you describe your wife and what she was wearing?
We were out at a friend's place, Bobby Ross's, for a party. She was kind of dolled up. She had her green silk dress, open-toed white shoes. Those are her favorite shoes.
Can we come in, Mr. Tarleton? I'm afraid we have some rather bad news. Do you have someone who can look after your children, Mr. Tarleton?
I've been trying to arrange a sitter. Look, tell me what's happened.
I'm afraid your wife was murdered last night. Her body was found this morning. We're very sorry for your loss. I know this is a difficult time, Mr. Tarleton, but we are going to need you to answer some questions. First, we're going to take a look around.
What for? You don't think
It's procedure. You see to your girls.
Stay here till Daddy's finished talking to these men.
Where's Mommy?
Everything's gonna be all right, sweetheart.
We would like Mommy to come home now, Daddy.
What's the problem, Tarleton? Let him search. You got nothing to hide. You want to hear something funny, Tarleton?
Some bums think filling out a missing persons report actually rules them out as a suspect.
Nope.
Need to check if she was a regular.
I wonder why the picture was turned down. Circumstantial. Baron's bar again. Someone must be real sweet on this dive.
If you'd excuse me, ladies. So she went out without her handbag? At least she was spared that particular indignity. She'd have to be in quite a state to leave this behind. We could see if Pinker can match the impression to the crime scene. I'll be out of your way momentarily, ladies. Over here, Rusty!
Yeah.
For the record,
as soon as
Mr.
I'm finished.
Tarleton, what is your wife's name?
Teresa.
Do you have any idea why anyone would want to hurt your wife?
No. Everyone loved Teresa. She was so full of life. It can't be anyone who knew her.
So you don't know anyone who would want her dead?
No, I don't.
You said you went to a party at Bobby Ross's place?
That's right. Bobby had a bunch of people over. We were having a good time. She said she was bored and decided to leave.
And?
I was playing pinochle with some of the guys. Teresa had a few belts too many. She said she wanted to go out dancing.
Mr. Tarleton, was Teresa happy at home?
Yeah, I think she was.
Spill it, Tarleton. We like the look of you for this, so you better give us something.
We're at the party. She has a few and says she wants to go out dancing. We only have the sitter until 9. I get mad. I tell her to go ahead, but I'm staying. She storms out. Look, I'm doing well at cards. I hardly ever do well. I married her because she was so much fun, but now she drives me fucking crazy.
What time did she leave the party?
About 8:30, maybe a little earlier.
When was the last time you saw your wife?
Around 8:30. The card game at Bobby's was wrapping up. I played out my hand and drove home here. Paid the sitter and went to bed.
You're lying, Lars. You didn't come straight home, did you?
And how do you figure that?
You were out in the rain. You got soaked, Lars. We found your wet weather gear.
Okay, I stayed a little later than I said. This cute little brunette was hitting on me. Teresa noticed. I was half cut. I walked her home from Bobby's, but nothing happened. I walked back and got the car this morning.
Thanks for answering our questions, Mr. Tarleton. You'll need to go downtown to identify your wife's body.
I should have taken her dancing.
In my experience, Mac, if you give in to broads, you'll be giving in to them your entire life.
Appreciate your time, sir. Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Can you run an address for a Bobby Ross? Then send some uniforms over.
Would you like him picked up?
No. Suspect says he was with Ross last night. We need to confirm the alibi.
I'll get a prowl car dispatched.
Thank you.
You believe this guy's story?
Kind of rings true. Can you drive to this one?
Steak has seen better days. Gents, drink?
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD.
I'm Benny Clough. This about Teresa Tarleton?
Yes, it is.
I heard about it on the radio. They're saying it was that Black Dahlia freak again? God damn it. Yeah, I rang that husband of hers. The babysitter said he was out.
If you don't mind, we have a few questions. Who was she with? We've had reports about a tall, gaunt-looking hobo. He wasn't here last night?
I get plenty of bums in here, but nothing to fit that description.